Hey folks, so what if I tell you that now you can build LLM applications using LangChain together with hundreds of integrations available in tools like Zapier and Make.com, and that too without code and completely open source? Well, that's what n8n is bringing for us. n8n is a no-code tool like Zapier and Make.com with hundreds of integrations, and they have an open source option, and now they're going to be making LangChain available within the platform. This is going to be amazing. Now you can imagine building LLM application that uses chains, agents, document loaders, tools, and connect your automation workflows together with the LLM application and increase your productivity even more. Well, in this video, we're going to look at how you can set up n8n and you can start building automation workflows together with the LangChain integration within n8n. If you have used Zapier or Make, then you are pretty much familiar with the drag and drop no-code interface. Now, this is probably one of the most exciting launches that I've seen recently. And one of the reasons for that is that LangChain is known to have a lot of integrations available. And a lot of this is in the code side of things, so the Python and the JavaScript LangChain. But this is still lacking in the no-code tools available for LangChain. But now comes n8n, which provides tons of integration. So if you were to look at the integrations available in n8n, pretty much it covers anything that you would like to connect. And if the integration is not available, then n8n offers ways for you to call APIs and connect with those tools as well. I would suggest for you to go through this section and just look at the number of integrations available in this tool. And the good thing is that n8n is open source, so you can actually run this on your own server or your own computer for free without paying anything. Now, there is quite some extensive documentation available from n8n for installation. There is the NPM version, there's the Docker version. If you already have Docker on your computer or a server, you just have to run 2 commands, and that's basically it. It's going to get you the latest version of n8n, and then you can pretty much follow along this tutorial. And in case if you'd like to use the cloud-hosted version, that is available from n8n website, where you can pretty much just log in and get started building things. Now, once you log in to the cloud version, or if you have installed the local version, you'll see an interface like this where you have your workflows. If you already built some, then you'll have that listed here. And then there are templates that you can get some inspiration from. So there are tons of these templates. You can open any of these and pretty much just use this workflow in your application. Now, there's also a section to add credentials in case you want to connect Gmail account or Google Drive or OpenAI or anything along those lines. So I'm going to walk you through how building a workflow looks like in n8n, and especially using LangChain. Now, this is a basic LLM chain. It helps you call a large language model, pretty basic. We're using OpenAI chat model here. And anytime we chat, we can communicate with the specified chat model. So let me actually walk you through how you can build this from scratch. So I'm going to go to workflows, add a workflow here. And in here, there are many different things that you can trigger. You can actually manually run this, or this could be a webhook that could be called from external sources. You can make this run on a schedule, or there are many different integrations available here, as in if there is a new message in Telegram, or if there is something happening in Slack, or in any of these tools available here. If any change happens, then you can start an event. What I'm going to do is I will just search for chat, since that's what I would like to trigger with. And in here, I'm going to say I want to manually trigger with a chat. So now once you have that, you can add a block here. I'm going to look into the advanced AI section and I will attach a basic LLM here. So basically we have attached both of these nodes together, and now I can attach a model. Once I click the plus sign, there are a bunch of options here. I'm going to go with something that is chat specific. So I'll go with OpenAI chat model. And I had connected it with the credentials for my account. In case if you would like to create a new credential, you can create new credential. It takes you to the page where you have to provide your OpenAI API key and the organization ID, and that's pretty much it. Now, in terms of model selection, of course, there are a bunch of chat models that are provided by OpenAI, so I'm just going to select one of these. And now we are good to go with the model side, and pretty much everything looks good. Now we can use the chat window here. Now I'm going to ask, what is the capital of USA? And if everything is fine, it's going to call the OpenAI model and get us the response. It actually shows you what are the steps taken by this chain. Now you can imagine if this is an agent or if it's some sort of retrieval step, if there are many different tools available, then it's going to show you exactly what happened. So that's quite interesting. And also the other thing I noticed is there's an option to see the raw JSON, which includes the tokens involved and any other information that you might benefit from. So quite nice interface in general. Now, kind of building on what we learned, we can use the agent node, which is another node available in the advanced AI section. So you can select agent in here. And with that, I attached it to, again, the chat OpenAI model. But also in addition to that, I added the buffer memory. Now, in case if you'd like to add additional memory or a different type of memory, there are quite some options. You'll see that these options come from LangChain. So there are document loaders, language models, memory. So this is what we're interested in right now. In here, there are a few different providers of memory available, but we're just going to go with something basic, which is the buffer memory. So in here, we're using a window length of 5. And in addition to that, we are just connecting it with two different tools. One is the calculator and the other is Wikipedia. Now, if I were to chat and ask a question, which is to do a calculation. So if we were to do that, then it will know that it's supposed to use the calculator, and then it gets the result for that particular question that we asked. Now, what's interesting here is you can pretty much follow along the steps. Those are taken by the agent. So you notice that there was something added to the memory. There was a call made to OpenAI, and then it knew that it had to use the tool, which is calculator in this case. It used the tool, and then it got a response back, which was again sent to OpenAI, and then the final answer was generated and also added to the chat history. So quite nice interface in case if you'd like to see exactly what happens. Now you can imagine if there are many different tools available here, you can basically follow the agent steps. Those are taken in terms of getting the response back. Now, another example that we have used a lot is the document chat, where we can take any document and then upsert it to any vector database. And we have talked about this earlier, where you can take a document, split it, and then convert it into embeddings, and then save it in a vector database. Now, once that is saved in a vector database, then you can start a chat with that document where you can use a retrieval chain and then pull information from the vector store and chat with pretty much any document format supported. Now, the benefit of using n8n is that you can load data from many different sources. So as previously shown, there are many integrations available here that you can pull data from, and then you can perform the same upserting of data and then chatting with that particular data. Now, another example that I came across is output parsing. This is something available in LangChain for quite some time. And OpenAI recently added the support to their models as well, where you can ask for a specific format of data to be extracted. So in here, you can take the data and say that I want it to be returned as state, city, and some additional info about it. And then once you run this chain, then the output is provided in that format. Now you can imagine that you can take this and then use the data to perhaps save it in a database, save it in Airtable or Google Sheets, or you can maybe generate an article from here, or you can write a tweet. Just so many options available here. Definitely suggest you to try different options. Another cool usage that I saw is retrieving information from a different workflow. You might have a workflow to pull information from a database or pull information from some sort of spreadsheet. You could have that workflow separate, and then you can pull the information of the other workflow in here. Now, this is also quite powerful. You're not bound to just one workflow, but you can use data from other workflows. And also something else I saw was cool is the use of tools in agents. In agents, we know that we can supply different tools. So far, there are only a few tools available. My expectation is over time, this is going to increase, and we're probably going to see a lot of tools from LangChain. But then there are also tools like writing code. So you can write code and use that as a tool, which pretty much opens a lot of options. Not just that, you can actually use workflow tool as well. So you can use any other workflow with the ID and tell your agent that this tool could be used for a specific purpose. And if that tool is needed, then our agent will reach out to the tool and perform action. So you can imagine building a whole workflow for perhaps writing blog or writing articles, or perhaps pulling information from a given source. You can just describe that as a workflow tool, and then your agent will perform the actions as needed based on the tasks that you give to the agent. So this LangChain integration and addition in n8n is definitely quite exciting. I would suggest for you to go through the template section, see what are the workflows that resonates with the work you are doing, and then utilize them. But now you can also add the LangChain portion and use chains, agents, or retrieval, or any of the LangChain features. Those are going to be available in future in this platform. So let me know what you think and which ones are your favorite workflows. I'm going to be making more videos on how you can combine these workflows with LangChain in the future. So follow along the journey and let's build some amazing AI-based automation workflows.